will Matthew Stafford be an MVP candidate?
He will be. He'll be an MVP candidate this year. There have been plenty of seasons where halfway through it's like, hey, is Stafford in the MVP conversation? But he's playing for the Lions. And his receivers, when he had any good ones, were always hurt and otherwise was playing on bad teams. He can't also play defense and also catch the ball, et cetera. And so, by the end of the season, even some seasons his numbers were there, comparable with some of the best in the league. He was not in the conversation. But he's better than Jared Goff. That's why, to get out of the Goff contract, they had to include 2 firsts and a third to get Matthew Stafford. And we're going to find out, ultimately, in the playoffs, can he be great? Is he just good, or can he be great? But in the regular season, guys, this Rams team made Jared Goff look like an MVP candidate 2/3 of the way through the season the year they went to the Super Bowl. Remember? We were saying they have 3 MVP candidates, like in the second half of the season, all on offense in Gurley, or 2 on offense in Gurley and Goff, and then 1 on defense with Aaron Donald. Well, Stafford being better than Goff and now having a much better situation, obviously a better head coach. I mean, look at Matt Patricia. Versus Sean McVay, especially in terms of the offense, let alone the overall team record. Stafford should be on a winning team, on a playoff team. He should put up big numbers, and whatever he does in the playoffs in the regular season, I expect him to be in the MVP conversation.
I'm not going to disagree with it based off of what you're saying, because I understand that I expect this defense to be elite. And because I expect this defense to be elite, obviously, he's going to have more opportunities to really showcase his offensive prowess, because he'll get the ball more, because he'll get more opportunities. The defense will see to that. But as long as Aaron Donald is on that team and this defense is elite, Aaron Donald is going to be an MVP candidate before Matt Stafford. That's just the bottom line. Cam Akers can run the football effectively. I like Robert Woods. We all know that Cooper Kupp can ball too. We get all of that. But this defense is real in L.A., with Jalen Ramsey in the secondary, with Aaron Donald going after the passer, with the help and assistance that they've got on the defensive side of the ball with Brockers and others. The bottom line is, I expect their defense to be so elite, and Aaron Rodgers is going to be the face. I'm sorry, Aaron Donald, I apologize, is going to be the face of that defense. I believe that would get in the way of Matthew Stafford being an MVP candidate. But that's really the biggest reason why I don't view him as being an MVP candidate, because I think there's a name on his team that'll come even before him when it comes to MVP consideration. I expect Aaron Rodgers to have a big year as well, even though I expect Green Bay to somehow get in the way. I expect Tom Brady, now that, he's won a Super Bowl in Tampa and he's got the same crew coming back, I think that they're going to have a big year as well. We don't know what the deal is going to be in with Russell Wilson. I expect Patrick Mahomes to come back in a very, very big way. Josh Allen, I think, is going to continue to ascend. There are other candidates that we'll be talking about and we'll be pointing to long before we even get to Matthew Stafford, and I think one of those individuals will be on this team, even though I do expect Matthew Stafford to have a good year, because I agree with you, Max. He is better than the numbers would indicate. 282 career touchdowns, 144 interceptions, not even a 2-to-1 turnover, TD to turnover ratio. But that ain't his fault. In the 12 seasons that he's been quarterbacking in the National Football League, 8 times he's had a losing season. We know that's not his fault. We know that's an organizational thing. The Detroit Lions have just been an embarrassment. We understand that. And they should have never hired Matt Patricia, as far as I'm concerned, or at least got rid of him a hell of a lot earlier than they ended up doing. So all of those things taken into consideration contributed to the lack of production on the part of Matthew Stafford. Anybody who knows football knows he can ball. So I'm not here to throw any shade on him. I just think those other names are going to come to the forefront, especially a member of his own team, which is Aaron Donald.
See, I don't think so, because he's on defense. When Stephen, off the top of my head, I don't remember a defensive player since Lawrence Taylor in '86, when they won the Super Bowl, winning the MVP award. I don't know if you can off the top of your head, but I can't think of any defensive player who's won it.
But I've heard Aaron Donald considered on many occasions. Aaron Donald's been considered. His name has been thrown in the hat continuously. But that's my point, really, that LT won it because Phil Simms was a very good quarterback, but he wasn't an MVP caliber player. If someone like, I don't know, take Ray Lewis or someone like that, that's because he didn't win an MVP. But if he's being considered, it's because Flacco, like Simms, those are big-time playoff quarterbacks, but they're not regular season type MVPs. Aaron Donald was getting a lot of consideration because Goff
really wasn't an MVP caliber player. My point is, we're going to find out about Stafford, at least in the regular season. If he puts up the numbers I think he's going to put up, then the way you think of Stafford's going to change, because he's always been considered elite arm talent, just not in the right situation, so it hasn't quite translated. With McVay and this Rams offense, we're going to find out. My guess is, at least in the regular season, the way we're thinking about Stafford is going to change. He will be thought of the way, let's say, Matt Ryan, at least, was thought of a couple of years ago in Atlanta. And I think because that's not like a Goff-level guy where the attention automatically goes to Aaron Donald, it's just hard for defensive players to win MVP, especially if a great team has a quarterback at MVP level. I think that's going to be the situation on the Rams. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.